Hello everybody, San here, engineer, MBA, and investor. And in today's video, I want to talk about the FDA releasing a new program this past week, essentially expediting programs that are in review for potential FDA approval. And that all happened this week, and I want to talk about why this is all relevant here in this channel. Now, before I jump into today's video, it is a Saturday, a little bit sunny here, cloudy, sunny here in Toronto, wherever you are. Hopefully you're having a good time, guys. Summer is here. Actually, officially 21st June is the longest day of the year. I don't know if you guys know that. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, because that means starting tomorrow, time then shortens, so you're gonna have the shorter days as time goes forward after the 21st. So again, 21st June is the longest day of the year, and 21st December is the shortest day of the year. I don't know if you guys know that or knew that, but nonetheless, let's jump right into this video, guys. So a press release here published on the June 17, and the FDA published the following. FDA to issue new commissioners national priority vouchers to companies supporting U.S. national interest. The U.S., and I quote here, the U.S. FDA announced today that CNPV program to enhance health interests of Americans. The new voucher may be redeemed by drug developers to participate in novel priority programs by the FDA that shortens its review time from approximately 10 to 12 months to 1 to 2 months following a sponsor's final drug application submission. End of quote. So I'm not going to go through the whole press release here. I think this first title and basically this paragraph sums it pretty well. There was this interview here that I pretty much watched while I was doing cardio this week at the gym on the treadmill. And that's my time to listen to videos and podcasts. The treadmills, walking on an incline. I don't know if you guys do that. If you work out at the gym, consider that at the treadmill. Listen to podcast videos. It really does help, I think, because that's like time that, one, you can exercise, and of course, two, you can listen to what's happening in the world. So, of course, here Dr. Marty here Makary, he posted this video, and I watched it, and I'm gonna talk about all of that here. Kind of related to this press release. And the video basically addressed the following. It said how a lot was heard in this past 2 weeks from the FDA. What they did actually was they went to meet private companies, public companies in private settings, closed doors, not public settings. And actually they also said in that video that although the public may think that's the wrong thing to do, because the FDA is all about transparency and honesty and openness, it's actually the right thing to do in this context, because the conversation they had with companies and with leaders of companies that were talking about this space when no shareholders are looking at what they're talking about, they're all on the NDA, there's no media covering what they're saying. A lot was said from those companies, and the FDA listened. That's the word Marty used. They listened. They listen. It was a conversation, but it wasn't really meant for them to be saying stuff to those companies. The FDA, of course, telling that their instructions or whatnot to those companies. It was them ingesting data, ingesting words, ingesting sentences from those companies' leaders. And that's exactly what this press release is all about as well, right? It's about the FDA stepping in and said, look, previously it took us about almost a year to review these final submissions from these programs that are going through phase 1 to phase 3 trials. They're ready to get potentially FDA approved, and it took us about a year to get that approved. Let's shorten that to about 1 to 2 months. Now, a concrete example here is CRISPR Therapeutics. CRISPR Therapeutics, I remember they submitted back in early 2023, if I recall, their final submission, and they got that approval basically by December of that year. So that pretty much is 12 months, 11 to 12 months, and that's what this addresses. This is a significant step forward, guys. This is nothing to sneeze at. A lot of people are kind of looking over those news. They're not following what the new FDA administration is doing. everything they've been doing since the new FDA administration has taken place, it's all about expediting the space, lowering the cost, lowering the barriers of entry, but at the same time keeping safety at top of their minds, keeping safety at top of everything, but essentially reducing all these bureaucratic documents, bureaucratic processes, reducing costs, reducing delays. And that's something I've actually said a lot in this channel. If you guys remember, just search for my video catalog, just look at FDAs, look at what I had to say many years ago, right? I've always said I don't understand why the FDA takes so much time to go get back to these companies, give priority designations, and when it comes to submissions for final submissions, why does it take 10 to 12 months, even sometimes more? Why? Like, NTLA is kind of slated to launch with their HAE program, which is of course Lanvo Z, or previously known as NTLA 2002, by 2027. Well, with this news, does it reduce? Maybe by early 2027, maybe by late 2026, maybe by mid 2026. Who knows? I mean, probably not 2026 mid, because they still have to publish data for phase 3. But who knows? I mean, these are things that people have to follow. I don't think people are fully following this closely. These are news that are kind of going overboard, over the heads of people, because people are so focused on the stock price and they're so focused on, you know, what's happening in the macro side of things. They're kind of missing out these, you know, what is it? The breads in the crumb trail? I don't know. It's the crumbs in the trail. They're missing those hints happening. Okay, this is all public, right? There's no inside information here. The FDA is willing to work with these companies, whether that's CRISPR companies, gene editing companies, all forms of companies, right? Biotech companies, genomics companies. You know, the biotech space has been in a very tough side of things in the last 4 years, literally over 4 years now. We've been in a bear market. It's hit these companies a lot. Most of these companies are down 80 to 90%, in some cases even more. In some cases, they were sold out or bankrupt. We've seen that it has happened. Now, specifically regarding CRISPR, I think this is obviously the big winners are all the public companies, of course, American companies, that you have to be American, like they say here, as a company. But I think what happens here is that now we're going to see an expedition of these types of releases. I think the FDA talked to folks like Dr. Liu. They listened to Dr. Liu. They looked at those research papers. They've seen what base editors can do for the child infant that was treated a few weeks ago. They've seen all of that, right? They're looking into this space. They want to help this space grow forward. They want to, like it said here in this press release, addressing unmet public health needs, delivering more innovative cures for American people. You know, these are things that CRISPR addresses. A lot of these CRISPR programs are for rare diseases that don't have a one-time functional cure. These companies like NTLA, Beam Therapeutics, of course CRISPR Therapeutics, Caribou, Verve obviously sold out. You got other companies in this space, of course Prime Medicine. They're all looking at these unmet public needs, and they are innovative. Now, people in this channel may argue versus Gen 1 CRISPR versus Gen 2 CRISPR versus even Gen 3 CRISPR, but they're all innovative cures compared to what's out there in the market. In fact, some diseases don't even have a one-time cure. So whether that's ex vivo, in vivo, CRISPR-Cas9, CRISPR-Cas12, whether that's base editors or even prime editors, guys, we're so early in this space, right? And I really think this new FDA administration is going to expedite these things for the right reasons, right? To serve the population in the US, to serve its citizens, and most importantly, to inspire the world and other organizations around the world to follow the lead. Folks have to remember health agencies like Health Canada, the Europe Agency, or the UK EMA. All these agencies, they're all looking at the FDA. They all get inspired by the FDA. I'm not saying everything and anything that the FDA does, they do. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about inspiration, looking up. And what just happened this week is a big thing. I'm very excited. I think I speak for a lot of people in this channel. CRISPR is here to stay. There's a lot of things happening here. You gotta stay up to date. So that's what I'm doing here in this video. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, guys. As always, Subscribe if you haven't. Like this video, pushes our videos on people's homepage. And let me know in the comments below, guys. Let's engage. What do you guys think about this press release? What do you guys think? Am I wrong? Am I right about how this is going to expedite this space? Let me know. I'll see you guys in Sunday's video. Have a beautiful Saturday. Enjoy.